Landry, you asked the Nick Caley question today at DeMeco's press conference, right? I believe you and I were texting about it, I think, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys read anything into DeMeco using that as that question as the general reminder to say, I'm not going to talk about contracts or coaches or this or that, not giving a Caley answer. And then a minute later, he gets a chance to talk about the offensive line, and he starts, doing a little bit of quasi glazing of Cole Popovich there, talking about the offensive line. Do you read anything into the like not even mentioning Caley's name in the answer to your question?
I mean, yes and no. Yeah, if you wanted to put it side by side with how he was asked about Bobby Slowick last year, then you could do that. You could probably have a hell of a radio segment tomorrow if you so choose. But I just don't. I would be surprised if Nick Caley got canned. But that was interesting. I to be honest, when I said it, I was actually expecting. A lot of times you ask questions, just whatever he answers, but you have the expectation. My expectation was he was going to say Nick Caley's our offensive coordinator and he'll be back next year. Like that was if you had asked me, my guess, it would have been, yeah, we were pleased with Nick Caley. I've already kind of said that I thought the offense got better. Yeah, we have no issue with Nick Caley. He'll be back. Maybe he's just kind of trying to be defensive to where he's trying to not say anything about anything, to where if Alpha Aaron asks him about Joe Mixon or whatever, he can just say the same thing about all of it. But yeah, I was a little bit surprised, and that's not necessarily the answer I was looking for.
Sorry to jump the line here, Reggie. I would say I think there's two elements. I think there's really three elements here. One, I feel like if Nick Caley's absolutely coming back, he missed an opportunity to really kind of just say, "Hey, my guy's coming back."
Yes,
that's a missed opportunity. I would find it curious that he had praise for the offense improving at the back end of the season, and he had some nice things to say about the offense and how it finished the season. And I don't know that we totally agree, but he said that earlier in the press conference. Mm-hmm. And I would have a hard time thinking that he'd say that and also be unhappy with Nick Caley. The other element of it, the third piece, I also think is you can't assume that, and I asked him a question like, how do you kind of guess how good a guy gets? And you're assessing his role versus what a change might benefit you.
Yeah.
And he said, look, we look at everything in a silo. You can't assume that everything's going to be the same or a guy's going to get better, but you try to figure that out, and that's part of his job. So I don't think it was a execution by omission, but I also feel like if he 100%, no questions asked, was coming back, he missed an opportunity to say, yeah, Nick Caley's the offensive coordinator, a la, week whatever of the season when he was like, why wouldn't he call plays?
You guys want Nick Caley back next season?
Look, hold on. Well, hold on. You're asking a tough question here.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. I think you're kind of handcuffed with the handling of CJ Stroud. Like you have to, I think you have to coddle him a little bit. And I think you have to make him comfortable. And I think Nick Caley does that. Am I going to pound the table for Nick Caley? No, I would not do that. I do think we need to take a close look. And I know this is kind of a sin for whatever reason around here, but I do think you need to look at Gerard Johnson. And I like Gerard Johnson as a person. I have nothing against him. I think he's a very, very bright guy, whatever. But if the offensive line's gotten better, which we acknowledge, if the defense was awesome, if the wide receivers got better and the running backs held it down when they were given the opportunity, but the quarterback is what we're talking about, and the quarterback's regress, he's not seeing things, why the hell does the quarterback coach not get mentioned? Why is it the only time that I ever see it is when there's like some puff piece or there's like a talking about how great he is? And some will say, well, CJ Stroud loves him and CJ Stroud likes him. CJ Stroud thought he played good after the Pittsburgh game. I don't give a fuck what CJ Stroud says right now at this point. So I just don't know. Like, if we are making a change in some way, shape, or form, I don't know why we don't take at least a decent look at the quarterback coach. I'm sorry that hurts me to say, but I'm going to cover the team the way that I cover the team, regardless of how nice of a guy he is or isn't.